What are your thoughts on Greek gods?
There's only one true God. We are not going to acknowledge all these fake pagan manifestations. And the courage of the early church to do that as they faced martyrdom, as they faced extreme exile, is one of the great acts of courage that to this day led us to the truth of our faith.
Welcome back. A simple question from one young audience member sparked a conversation that reached far beyond the classroom and straight into one of history's biggest debates about faith, culture, and truth. Before we dive into the full story, comment where you're watching from and don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one.
What are your thoughts on Greek gods? Do you think they're fallen angels? I know there is only one true God, but how do you think as a kid in public school who is taught about all of this and many generations have been taught?
That's a great question. That's a really good question. Thank you. What's your name?
Javen?
David, thank you. Thank you for that question. Javid, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I misheard you. The Bible does talk about repeatedly, you have to be very careful using the word gods because we are a monotheistic faith, but forces that could be interplaced with the word God, like Molech, for example, that are pagan manifestations of demonic and spiritual forces. Lucas is writing a book on paganism right now. And if you want to really have a breakthrough, and I think everyone needs to really dive deep into this, the more you realize that we don't live in an atheistic country, but more in a pagan country, things start to make a lot more sense. And finally, understand that the early Christians were given what was conceived to be a very good offer by the Romans. The early Christians were humming, they were starting to win converts, and the Romans said, hey, look, we have this thing called the Pantheon, okay? Where you could be one of many religions. We'll add you, okay? We'll have Hermes, we'll have Ra, we'll have the sun god, we'll have the dirt god, we'll have, the air god, we'll put you amongst many's. You'll be one amongst equals. And the early Christians, to their credit, said, no, there's only one true God. We are not going to acknowledge all these fake pagan manifestations. And the courage of the early church to do that as they faced martyrdom, as they faced extreme exile, is one of the great acts of courage that to this day led us to the truth of our faith. If they would have accepted that deal, a lot of the persecution would have stopped. A lot of the massacring of Christians in the early couple hundred years would have ceased. But they said, no, we will go through the persecution, but we refuse to ever say that Jesus is on the same level as Zeus. That is heresy, and we will not put up with it. So I hope that's helpful. So thank you.
History reminds us that the strength of Christianity was never built on comfort, it was built on conviction. In the earliest centuries of the church, countless believers were pressured to declare the Roman emperor as their highest authority. But instead of choosing safety, they boldly proclaimed that Jesus Christ alone was king. That decision came with an enormous cost, yet they refused to compromise the truth they believed in. One of the most powerful examples is Polycarp, the bishop of Smyrna. When authorities offered him his freedom in exchange for denying Christ, his response echoed through history. He declared, 86 years I have served him, and he has done me no wrong. How can I blaspheme my king and my savior? Those were not merely inspiring words, they were words backed by unwavering conviction. Polycarp chose faith over fear, knowing exactly what that decision would mean. His life became a testimony that outlived the Roman Empire itself. Stories like his inspired generations of Christians to remain faithful, even during times of intense persecution. Their courage helped carry the message of the gospel across nations and centuries, proving that genuine faith cannot be silenced by intimidation or force. For that reason, Christians today continue to honor those who remained steadfast under extraordinary pressure. Their sacrifice helped preserve the faith that millions around the world continue to embrace. Many supporters have also described Charlie Kirk's death as the loss of someone who stood publicly for his Christian convictions. Regardless of where people stand politically, many remember his willingness to speak openly about his beliefs and the values he defended throughout his public life. Thank you for watching. If this message encouraged you, share your thoughts in the comments and may God bless you.